Liam wiped the sweat from his brow as the small shuttle hummed across the red-orange sky of planet Ardinia. This was a world recently mapped by Earth's exploration fleet, known for its strange forests of crystalline trees and rivers that shimmered like liquid silver. Liam had been sent here alone to study the planet's surface, to gather samples, and to see if it might be suitable for future colonies. He had always loved the unknown. Since he was a boy growing up on Earth, he had dreamed of exploring the stars, learning about worlds no human had ever set foot on. Yet even with all his training, Ardinia felt strange, like the planet itself was watching him. The wind shifted the crystal branches, and they made soft chimes, almost like whispers. Liam shook his head, trying to focus on his task. "Keep it together, Liam," he muttered. "Just another planet. Nothing more." He stepped out of the shuttle and began scanning the area with his portable sensor. The readings were unusual. He could feel energy pulses that didn't match any known natural patterns. It was subtle, almost like a heartbeat, but not quite. Liam crouched to get a better look at a strange, glowing fungus growing at the base of a tree. Before he could examine it further, a sudden flicker of light caught his eye. Liam froze. Ahead, hovering a few feet above the ground, was a figure. At first he thought it might be another scout or a drone, but the figure was humanoid. Her skin was a soft blue, almost translucent, and her eyes glimmered with golden light. She had long, flowing hair that seemed to float slightly, as if caught in an invisible breeze. Liam's hand went instinctively to the side of his body, where his plasma pistol was holstered. "Hello," the figure said in a melodic voice. Her words had a strange echo, almost musical, as if the air itself carried her speech. "You are human." "Yes," Liam said cautiously. "I am. And you are?" She smiled, a mischievous curve of her lips. "I am Zyra. And you are far from home. How amusing. Humans, alone on a world like this." Liam's brow furrowed. She was small, maybe the height of an average human teenager, but there was something about her presence that made him tense. He could feel her power, even though she had done nothing yet. Her eyes sparkled as if she already knew his thoughts. "You're not native here, are you?" Liam asked. "Native?" Zyra tilted her head. "No, I am a traveler, like you. But unlike you, I do not need tools to survive. I can shape the world around me." She raised her hand, and the crystal trees nearby bent slightly, forming shapes as if they were puppets. Liam's eyes widened. You can control the environment?" he stammered. Zyra laughed softly, almost teasingly. "You humans are clever with your machines, but look at you, fumbling with sensors and tools, so fragile, so limited." Liam felt a spark of irritation. She was taunting him, and he hated being underestimated. "I may not control the world with magic," he said, "but humans survive where nothing else can. We find ways to adapt. We make do with what we have." Zyra's smile widened. Adapt? Survive? Such small words for such a small species. Let's see how clever you really are. Before Liam could respond, Zyra flicked her fingers, and the ground beneath him shifted. Crystalline spikes emerged in a slow spiral, surrounding him like a cage. He leaped back instinctively, dodging the sharp edges. His sensors went off instantly, scanning the new formation. "Clever little human," Zyra said, her voice light but sharp. "You see patterns, you react, but do you understand what's happening?" I can figure it out," Liam said, crouching low and observing the spikes. Using his small multi-tool, he triggered a vibration pulse that slowly softened the crystalline edges, allowing him to slip through without injury. Zyra clapped lightly, impressed, though she hid it behind a playful smirk. "Not bad," she said. "I like a challenge. Most humans would have panicked." Liam straightened, brushing dust from his uniform. "You should know by now. he said. "Humans are used to challenges. We face danger with our minds as much as with our hands." Zira floated closer, tilting her head. "Your courage. It is curious. I expected fear, trembling, and screams. Instead, I see calm, calculation, and resolve. How unhuman." Liam chuckled, despite the tension. "Maybe that's why humans spread across the stars. We survive, we adapt, we learn, we build even when the odds are against us." Zyra's golden eyes narrowed, not in anger, but in thought. She seemed fascinated, even if she didn't want to show it. "Perhaps you are different from the rest. Perhaps there is something remarkable about humans." For the next hour, Liam and Zira explored the crystal forest cautiously. She tested him with strange illusions, shifting terrain, and minor manipulations of gravity. Every time he solved her puzzle or navigated the challenge, she responded with a teasing comment, a laugh, or a flicker of admiration in her eyes. Liam couldn't help but notice how agile and intelligent she was, yet he also realized something important. Her playfulness hid a deeper curiosity. "You are very determined," Zira said after one test where Liam had used simple physics and leverage to move a massive crystal boulder blocking their path. "I wonder, what makes humans so persistent?" Liam thought for a moment. "We have to be. Our home, Earth, is full of challenges. Every generation faced something new, from storms to earthquakes, from conflicts to space travel. We learn to survive, we learn to push further, and somehow we keep going." Zira paused, her gaze distant for a moment, as if she were picturing something she had never seen before. Then she smiled again, mischievous but softer. "You speak of your world with such pride. I did not expect this." Liam shrugged. "Pride comes naturally when you know where you came from. And it helps to know that even when we are small, we can leave a mark. That's what humans do." Zira floated silently for a moment, watching him. Then, in a sudden burst of energy, she laughed and twirled in the air. "Enough talk for now, human. Let's see how you handle what comes next." Before Liam could ask what she meant, the sky above them shimmered. Strange lights danced across the horizon, and the crystal trees bent and twisted as if reacting to an unseen force. Liam's heart raced. This planet was alive in ways he hadn't anticipated, and Zira seemed to control or at least influence its behavior. "Ready?" she called, eyes glinting. "As I'll ever be," Liam said, gripping his multi-tool tightly. The ground rumbled beneath them as a massive shadow moved across the forest. Liam glanced up to see a creature, a predator native to Ardinia, looming above them. Its multiple limbs glimmered like polished metal, and its eyes glowed with an eerie red light. Zira floated calmly, almost amused. "Show me your human cleverness," she said, hovering just out of reach. Liam's mind raced. He could run, hide, or try to fight it, but he remembered Zira's words. Humans survive through ingenuity. He quickly assessed the environment, noticing the crystal's reflective properties and the way the ground vibrated. Using his multi-tool, he amplified a small pulse of sound and light, confusing the predator long enough to guide it away from them. Zira's eyes widened slightly, not in fear, but in recognition. "Impressive," she said softly. "I did not expect such ingenuity. You are more than I imagined." Liam exhaled, feeling both relief and a strange sense of pride. "You said humans are small and fragile. Maybe in some ways we are. But don't underestimate us. We survive, we adapt, and sometimes we even thrive where nothing else can." Zira tilted her head, studying him closely. For the first time, her teasing seemed less harsh, more curious. "Perhaps you are right, human. Perhaps there is more to your kind than I assumed." The two stood there in the glowing forest, the predator gone, the air calm once again. Liam realized that this encounter was only the beginning. Zira was no ordinary being, and this planet no ordinary world. Something told him that their meeting would uncover secrets far older and far more important than either of them could imagine. And somewhere deep in the crystal forest, hidden from their view, ancient machinery and recordings of a long-lost human expedition began to stir, waiting for the moment when someone worthy, someone human, would find them. The crystal forest of Ardinia shimmered in the dim light of the planet's twin suns. Liam moved cautiously, still feeling the rush of adrenaline from the predator encounter. Zira floated beside him, her golden eyes following his every move, a playful smirk curling on her lips. "You humans are entertaining," she said, her voice musical, almost teasing. "You think you can face anything, but I wonder, will your cleverness last?" "I've survived worse," Liam replied, adjusting his backpack. "And I've solved puzzles that could stump even the smartest AI, so don't underestimate me." Zira laughed lightly, a sound like wind chimes, but there was a glint of challenge in her eyes. "We shall see." Without warning, she raised her hands. The ground beneath them shifted, rising in patterns that formed a labyrinth of crystal walls. The air hummed as the walls pulsed with soft energy, changing shape every few moments. Liam's eyes widened. This was no ordinary puzzle. "Your challenge begins," Zira said, floating above the shifting paths. "Survive. Find the exit. Let's see if human ingenuity can match the forest." Liam took a deep breath and stepped forward. The walls of crystal reflected the sunlight, creating a dazzling and confusing maze. Every turn seemed to loop back, and strange shadows danced across the floor. He activated his scanner, but it only partially worked. The crystals interfered with the signals. "All right," he muttered, crouching to inspect the ground. "Think, Liam. Observe patterns." He noticed the walls moved in a rhythm, almost like they had a pulse. Timing would be crucial. He began to move with careful steps, watching the shifting walls, learning their rhythm. Every now and then, he used his multi-tool to create small vibrations that nudged the crystals, testing their reaction. Zira floated above, watching him closely. "Clever, clever human," she said. "But cleverness alone will not be enough." Hours seemed to pass, though Liam wasn't certain. The sun shifted, changing the light that danced through the crystals. He used his shadow to mark paths and quickly realized that the maze, despite its shifting walls, had a pattern he could follow. With patience and careful observation, he found an opening that led deeper into the forest. Zira followed silently for a while, her expression unreadable. Then she spoke. "You are persistent. I must admit, it is interesting." "You mean impressive," Liam replied with a grin. "And don't think I'm giving up." She tilted her head, her smirk widening. "You are stubborn, like many humans. It is charming, in a way." The deeper they went, the more unusual the environment became. Crystalline vines hung from above, and the ground sparkled as if embedded with tiny stars. Liam noticed strange markings etched into some of the crystals. He paused to examine them. They were not natural. Someone or something had created these symbols long ago. "Do you understand them?" Zira asked, floating down to inspect. "No," Liam admitted. "But they look like instructions or warnings. Maybe a map." Zira's eyes narrowed. "Warnings? Maps? Curious. Humans rely on tools, symbols, and machines, yet you seem to understand things instinctively." Liam shrugged. "We have to. Sometimes survival depends on seeing what others miss." "Survival?" Zira echoed softly. "I suppose humans know it well." Suddenly, the forest shifted violently. A section of the ground rose, forming a platform with jagged crystal edges. Liam barely jumped in time as the platform moved like a wave, carrying him higher into the air. He clung to the edge, feeling the vibration of the moving crystals beneath him. Zira hovered nearby, floating effortlessly. Your reflexes are quick, she said, but can you think as fast as you move? Liam clenched his jaw and scanned the platform. There were small gaps between the crystals, which meant he could jump from one to another, timing his movements with the platform's rhythm. He began to leap carefully, counting the beats in his head, until he reached solid ground. Zira's eyes glimmered with interest. Most humans would have fallen, but you are unusual. I've been training for this my whole life, Liam said, brushing himself off. Not every human, maybe, but I am not average. The maze opened into a wide clearing. Liam caught his breath and noticed a strange structure in the center, an ancient tower built of unknown metal, partially covered by the crystal forest. The architecture was elegant and alien, yet there were signs of human design in the symmetry and angles. Liam's pulse quickened. Could this be a remnant of a past Earth expedition? Zira floated closer, her expression unreadable. Interesting, she murmured. Humans? Here? I did not expect it. Liam approached the tower cautiously. Strange runes glowed faintly on its surface. He traced one with his gloved hand. These markings, they're old, very old. Maybe from Earth? Zira tilted her head. Earth? The home world of your kind? Yes, Liam said. Humans have explored many stars, though not all records survived. We left knowledge behind in case someone could find it. Zira floated silently for a moment, absorbing his words. Then, with a sudden flick of her hand, a door at the base of the tower opened. It revealed a staircase winding down into darkness. Curious, she said. Do you dare enter? Humans are so bold, yet so fragile. Liam glanced at her. Boldness can save lives. Sometimes it also uncovers truths. He stepped inside, and Zira followed, her movements silent and fluid. The staircase led down into a chamber illuminated by soft blue light. Holographic projections flickered to life, showing stars, planets, and structures built by humans long ago. Liam's eyes widened as he recognized some familiar designs, research outposts, exploration ships, and colonies across distant systems. This is incredible, Liam whispered. I never imagined finding something like this here. Zira hovered beside him, her golden eyes scanning the projections. Humans left this behind. You are capable of more than your reputation suggests. Liam nodded. Our species has always sought to explore, to leave a mark, to survive, even when we face impossible odds. Zira's expression softened slightly. For the first time, her teasing tone was replaced by genuine curiosity. I underestimated you, and your kind. Perhaps humans are not as weak or limited as I believed. Liam smiled faintly. We may not have natural powers like you, but we have persistence, creativity, and hope. That counts for something in the end. They spent hours in the chamber examining the holograms. Liam could see the stories of explorers who had come before him, their discoveries, inventions, and struggles. Zira's playful smirk had faded into quiet admiration. She asked questions about human culture, technology, and the principles that drove them to explore. You humans. You are very determined, Zira said finally. I see now why you survive. You think beyond the immediate. You plan, you adapt, and you inspire. Liam felt a warmth in his chest. He had not expected to impress an alien, much less someone as skilled and powerful as Zira. Humans are small in the universe, he said, but even the smallest can make a difference. Zira floated silently for a moment, then laughed softly, the sound gentle this time. Small? Yes, but clever, bold, intriguing. I want to see more of what humans have left behind. Liam nodded, realizing that their encounter was the beginning of something much bigger than either of them had imagined. The planet itself, the ruins, and Zira's curiosity all hinted at secrets yet to be uncovered. Secrets that could reveal Earth's true legacy among the stars. Outside, the crystal forest continued to shimmer, as if acknowledging the bond forming between them. Liam and Zira had begun not as friends, but as adversaries, teasing and testing one another. But now, a quiet respect was growing. Somewhere deep within the ancient ruins, hidden from view, dormant systems waited for a human to awaken them. Liam knew instinctively that he was not just exploring the planet for science. He was walking into the history of his own people. And Zira, once a playful taunter, would be both a challenge and an ally in the journey to come. As they left the chamber, the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the forest. Liam glanced at Zira. "Tomorrow," he said, "we find out what else humans have left behind. I have a feeling this planet has many stories to tell." Zira smiled faintly, her eyes reflecting the fading sunlight. "Very well, human. Tomorrow, we continue." And with that, the two set up camp for the night, unaware that the events unfolding here would mark the beginning of a journey that would test courage, ingenuity, and the enduring legacy of Earth itself. The dawn on Ardinia painted the sky in shades of orange and violet. Liam stretched as he packed the small supplies he had brought for the day. Zira hovered nearby, her golden eyes scanning the crystal forest with curiosity, though her playful smirk had softened into a thoughtful expression. The events of the previous day had shifted something between them. No longer were they just challenger and teased. There was a sense of purpose in their journey together. "The chamber we found yesterday," Liam began. "I think it's just the beginning. There may be more ruins, more records hidden on this planet. If humans left anything behind, we'll find it." Zira tilted her head. "Humans, hiding knowledge, leaving traces in distant worlds. I did not expect such foresight. Curious creatures." "You'll see," Liam said with a faint smile. "Humans always think ahead. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. But we always try to leave a mark, something that survives even after we are gone." They moved cautiously through the forest, the crystalline trees sparkling as the twin suns rose higher. Liam led the way using his scanner, noting small energy readings hidden beneath the forest floor. Zira followed, occasionally reaching out to shift the terrain slightly, revealing hidden paths. After an hour of careful exploration, they reached a rocky outcrop partially hidden behind a dense cluster of crystal trees. Liam's scanner indicated a large energy source beneath the surface. "Here," he whispered. "There's something here, underground." Zira floated above him, her eyes narrowing. "You believe this is human?" "I hope so," Liam said. "But even if it's not, it's worth investigating." Using a combination of his multi-tool and Zira's subtle manipulation of the terrain, they uncovered a hidden entrance. It was a large, circular doorway made of metal that seemed to shimmer with faint energy. Ancient symbols covered its surface, symbols Liam recognized as human, though centuries old. His pulse quickened. This is incredible," he murmured. "Someone from Earth built this long ago." Zira hovered closer, tracing the symbols with her fingers. "You humans, you leave your presence everywhere, and you... Clever human, you found it." Liam pushed the door open, revealing a vast chamber inside. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with something like ozone. Holographic projectors flickered to life, filling the room with glowing images of stars, planets, and structures across countless systems. Liam's eyes widened as he recognized ships, outposts, and colonies, all human creations from centuries ago. "This is history," he whispered. "A hidden record of our legacy." Zira floated silently beside him, her eyes scanning the projections. For the first time, there was no teasing in her voice. "Humans, you are more than I imagined. I did not know your kind could leave such influence. Liam moved closer to a hologram of a star system, pointing at the tiny markers of human colonies. Humans spread across the galaxy even when we were few. Every expedition, every research station, it was meant to survive, to explore, to learn. This is who we are. Zyra's golden eyes glimmered. So your species? You endure challenges. You explore unknown worlds and you leave knowledge behind for others to find. That is remarkable. Liam nodded. It's in our nature. Humans adapt. We learn. And even when it seems impossible, we try. That's how we survive. They walked deeper into the chamber, where more complex projections floated in the air. Detailed schematics of advanced technology, starship designs, and notes on planetary ecosystems. Liam studied them with awe. These were creations of humans long gone, ancestors who had risked everything to explore the stars. Zyra touched a projection, her fingers brushing the glowing images. You humans, you have courage. And not just for survival, but for knowledge, for curiosity. I see it now. You see it because it's real, Liam said. Humans may seem small or fragile compared to others in the galaxy, but our ingenuity, our willpower, it lasts. We leave our mark in ways that survive generations. Suddenly, a low hum echoed through the chamber. Liam's sensors detected movement, small drones, still operational despite centuries of dormancy. The drones flickered to life, projecting messages in human language. Holographic images of Earth scientists and explorers appeared, giving instructions, warnings, and advice for any who might find them. Zyra's eyes widened. Your people? They left messages for those who would come after? Yes, Liam said, his voice filled with quiet pride. They wanted their knowledge to endure, to inspire those who might follow. Even if humanity itself couldn't be there, the legacy could survive. Zyra's usual playful demeanor had vanished. She studied Liam closely, her expression unreadable but thoughtful. You humans, even when small, you plan for the future. You leave behind hope. Liam smiled faintly. Hope is one of our strongest traits. Even when we face impossible odds, we hold on to it. That's how we thrive. That's how we survive. They continued through the chamber, discovering maps of star routes, records of scientific experiments, and archives of human culture, art, literature, and music encoded in holographic forms. Each discovery seemed to deepen Zyra's respect for humans. You mock us, Liam said quietly. But now you see why humans are more than they appear. We endure, we explore, and we inspire. Zyra didn't respond immediately. She floated above a projection showing a massive human colony on a distant planet. The colony had been abandoned long ago, yet its structures were still intact. Evidence of careful planning and advanced engineering. I underestimated you, she said softly. I thought humans were fragile, simple, limited. But your legacy, it is extraordinary. Liam felt a surge of pride. Fragile, maybe in appearance. Limited, yes, compared to beings like you. But clever, determined, and resilient, always. That's why humans survive. For a long moment, they stood in silence, surrounded by the glowing projections. Zyra's teasing had vanished entirely, replaced by a quiet fascination. She seemed to absorb every detail, every message left by humans. Liam realized that this moment marked a turning point, not just for Zyra's understanding of humans, but for the journey they were beginning together. Then, a sudden alert flashed on Liam's scanner. Energy readings indicated that part of the chamber was still active, something beneath the floor. Liam knelt, tracing the signals. There's more, he said. Something deeper. Possibly the heart of this facility. Zyra's eyes gleamed. Then we continue, human. Show me more of what your kind has achieved. I want to understand fully. Together they descended a narrow spiral staircase leading even further underground. The walls were lined with glowing circuits, faintly humming with power. Liam could feel the weight of history pressing down, the presence of generations of humans who had built this place. Finally, they reached a vast central room. In its center was a large holographic globe rotating slowly, showing the Milky Way and neighboring galaxies. Points of light marked the locations of human influence: colonies, research stations, and exploratory routes. Liam touched one of the points, and a wave of information flooded the room. This is incredible," he whispered. "They mapped the stars, recorded knowledge of alien species, and even created fail-safe systems for future explorers. Humans. We wanted to leave proof that we existed, that we could survive." Zira floated closer, examining the globe. "You are more than I imagined. Not fragile, not limited. Humans are persistent, clever, and enduring. I see it now. Your kind is extraordinary." Liam nodded. "And that's only a fraction of it. Earth's legacy is scattered across the stars, some lost, some hidden, some waiting for humans or others to rediscover." For the first time, Zira's voice held admiration instead of teasing. "I underestimated your species. I taunted you, but now I understand. Humans, you leave a mark, even when it seems impossible. That is your true strength." Liam smiled faintly. "Sometimes the smallest seed can grow into the tallest tree. Humans are like that. We endure, we adapt, and we inspire, even across centuries, even across galaxies." Zira floated silently for a moment, her golden eyes reflecting the glowing holograms. Then she spoke, her tone soft but firm. "I want to see more. Show me more of Earth's legacy, human. I want to understand why your kind survives, why your spirit endures." Liam nodded. "We will. This planet holds only part of it. There are other ruins, other records, and together we'll uncover them." Outside, the crystal forest glimmered in the morning light. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the sense of history and the promise of discovery. Liam and Zira had begun their journey not as adversaries, but as partners, and the secrets they were about to uncover would test courage, ingenuity, and the enduring legacy of Earth itself. The deeper Liam and Zira went into the underground complex, the more the air seemed to hum with energy. Strange lights pulsed along the walls, illuminating corridors that twisted like the branches of a crystalline tree. Liam's scanner was nearly overwhelmed by the sheer amount of ancient human technology still active after centuries. "This place is incredible," Liam whispered, his eyes wide. "Everywhere we look, humans tried to leave a mark. They wanted their knowledge to survive, even if they themselves could not." Zira floated beside him, her golden eyes scanning every hologram and symbol with fascination. "I see it now. Humans, your kind is not weak. You are patient, persistent, and clever. You leave your legacy for others to find. That is admirable." Liam smiled faintly. "We have to be clever. Survival isn't just about strength or power. It's about adapting, thinking ahead and working together. That's what makes humans endure." As they turned a corner, the floor beneath them shivered, sending a ripple through the metallic walkway. Liam instinctively grabbed Zira's arm. "Something's moving," he said. From the shadows emerged a massive quadrupedal creature. Its sleek, metallic body glinted in the soft glow of the walls, and glowing red eyes scanned the chamber. Its movements were precise, mechanical, yet strangely alive. Liam's pulse quickened. He could see that this was no ordinary predator. It was some kind of security mechanism, designed to protect the human legacy they were exploring. Zira's usual playful smirk returned, though this time tinged with seriousness. "Ah, a test," Let's see how human ingenuity fares, little explorer. Liam studied the creature carefully. It moved in patterns, scanning the area with precise sensors. Its legs were agile, its claws capable of rending metal. A direct confrontation would be dangerous. "We need a plan," he whispered. Zira floated above him. "Do not overthink. Humans rely too much on tools and machines. Think. Use your mind." Liam nodded, quickly scanning the environment. There were crystalline pillars nearby, and the walls pulsed with energy that seemed to respond to sound and vibration. He had an idea. Using his multi-tool, he sent out a series of sonic pulses that reflected off the crystals. The pulses confused the creature's sensors, making it hesitate. Zira's eyes widened. "Clever. I like this. Continue." Liam ran to a control panel on the wall, ancient but still functional. He tapped into the system, activating a holographic sequence that temporarily disabled the creature's movement. The mechanical guardian froze, its red eyes dimming. "You humans, you think fast," Zira said, hovering closer. "I underestimated your kind once again." Liam wiped his brow, smiling faintly. "Adaptation is our strength. We survive not by fighting blindly, but by understanding, observing, and acting wisely." Zira nodded, her tone softer now. "I see it clearly. Humans are not fragile. They endure, they innovate, and they inspire. I respect that. Truly." They continued deeper into the complex, navigating corridors filled with holographic projections of human settlements, research outposts, and exploration logs. Liam paused frequently, reading messages left by humans long gone. Each story told of courage, ingenuity, and determination. "These people, they risked everything to explore the stars," Liam said quietly. "Some didn't survive, but they left behind knowledge. They wanted the next generation to learn from their efforts." Zira watched him, her expression thoughtful. "I mocked you once, thinking humans were weak, limited, but now I see. You are clever, adaptable, and resilient. Your spirit, it endures across time and space. That is why your legacy survives." They reached a central chamber, larger than anything Liam had seen before. In the center floated a massive holographic map of multiple star systems. Lights blinked across the map, marking human exploration routes, colonies, and research stations. Liam's breath caught. "This is breathtaking," he said. "Our ancestors mapped the stars, studied alien species, and built colonies far from Earth. Even if humans were scattered or forgotten, their work remained." Zira floated closer to the hologram. "And you continue their work. That is why you survive, human. You honor your legacy, even without realizing it." Liam felt a surge of pride. "We adapt, we endure, and we keep learning. That's humanity. And it's why we matter." Suddenly the room shook. Alarms blared and the holographic map flickered. The floor beneath them split, revealing a deep shaft. Liam grabbed Zira's arm, steadying her. "Another test," she said, her tone playful but serious. "Let's see how human ingenuity fares under pressure." A massive robotic sentinel emerged from the shadows, larger and more imposing than the previous guardian. Its body was armored, its movements fast and precise. Liam realized that direct combat was impossible. They would need to outthink it. He scanned the environment, noticing that the walls and pillars had reflective surfaces. He had an idea. Using his multi-tool, he emitted a series of energy pulses, reflecting them off the pillars to confuse the Sentinel's sensors. The robot hesitated, its movement jerky and uncertain. Zira watched in silent admiration. "Impressive. You use your mind, not just your strength. That is human ingenuity." Liam smiled faintly. "Observation, adaptation, and timing. That's all it takes." He darted between the pillars. using the reflections and shadows to hide from the Sentinel. At the same time, he activated an old control panel, sending a signal to disable the robot temporarily. The Sentinel froze, its lights dimming. Liam exhaled, feeling both relief and pride. "You humans, you are remarkable," Zyra said softly. "I mocked you, tested you, but now I see. You endure, you adapt, and you inspire. That is why your kind survives." Liam nodded. "We survive not because we are the strongest, but because we never give up. We find ways, even when none seem to exist." They continued through the complex, discovering more holograms, records, and technology left by humans centuries ago. Each discovery deepened Zyra's respect and fascination. She asked questions, listened intently, and occasionally helped Liam navigate the more complex systems. "You honor your ancestors," Zyra said finally. "You continue their work, their exploration, their desire to survive and learn. That is why humans matter in the galaxy." Liam smiled faintly. "We do our best. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not. But we keep trying, and that counts." As they emerged from the complex into the forest above, the twin suns were setting, casting long shadows across the crystalline trees. Liam looked at Zyra, noting the quiet admiration in her eyes. "You've changed," he said. "No more taunts?" Zyra laughed softly, a sound like wind through crystal chimes. "Perhaps not. You have shown me the truth of your kind. Humans endure, adapt, and inspire. I respect that, truly." Liam felt a sense of accomplishment, but he knew this was only the beginning. The planet still held secrets, and Earth's legacy stretched far beyond what they had discovered so far. "Tomorrow," he said, "we find more. I have a feeling this planet is only the start." Zyra nodded, her golden eyes reflecting the fading sunlight. "Very well, human. Tomorrow, we continue, and I want to see more of what your kind has left behind. I want to understand fully." As night fell, the forest shimmered under the twin moons. The wind whispered through the crystalline trees, carrying the promise of discovery and the weight of history. Liam and Zyra, once adversaries, were now partners, bound by curiosity, respect, and the shared goal of uncovering the enduring legacy of humanity. Somewhere deep within the forest, ancient systems stirred, sensing the presence of a human worthy of discovering them. The journey was far from over, and the challenges ahead would test courage, ingenuity, and the indomitable spirit of Earth's explorers. And as Liam gazed at the glowing horizon, he realized that humanity's legacy was not just in the stars. They were in the minds, the hearts, and the determination of every human who dared to dream. The twin moons of Ardinia hung low in the sky, casting a soft silver glow across the crystalline forest. Liam and Zyra stood at the edge of a cliff, overlooking a valley where the forest stretched endlessly, glimmering like a sea of stars. The events of the past days had changed them both. What had begun as teasing and testing had grown into something deeper: respect, curiosity, and partnership. "I never expected this," Zyra said softly, her golden eyes reflecting the moonlight. "I mocked humans, teased you, yet now I see. Your kind leaves more than footprints. You leave ideas, knowledge, and hope. Even centuries later, it survives." Liam smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "That's what humans do. We explore, we learn, we survive, and when we can, we leave something behind for the next generation, or for anyone who finds it. Even if no one remembers us, our efforts matter." Zyra floated beside him, her usual playful smirk replaced by quiet admiration. "I see that now. You inspire not by strength, but by will and ingenuity. I did not think humans could be so enduring." Liam laughed softly. Strength alone doesn't matter. The galaxy is full of powerful beings, but survival comes from courage, cleverness, and determination. That's how humans endure. As they spoke, the ground beneath them trembled. Liam's scanner beeped urgently. Energy readings. Something is activating underground. We need to check it out. Together, they descended to the ancient chamber below the cliff. The vast room hummed with energy, more advanced than anything Liam had ever seen. At its center was a massive, pulsating core of light. Surrounding it were holographic projections of Earth's most ambitious human projects, colonies, research stations, and expeditions across galaxies. This is it, Liam whispered. This is the heart of our legacy. Zira hovered closer, her expression one of awe. All this, humans built this. Your kind. You are incredible. Liam nodded. Not incredible alone. Every human who dared to explore, who left records, who built these outposts, they all contributed. That's why we survive. Not because of one person, but because we work, learn, and pass knowledge forward. The core pulsed brighter, revealing a series of star maps and coordinates. Liam realized that these were hidden paths and locations of other lost human outposts across the galaxy. Many had been abandoned, their purpose forgotten, but the records survived here, ready for discovery. Zira's eyes sparkled with understanding. Humans do not just endure. They plan, they preserve, they inspire. You leave guidance for those who come after. Even when it seems impossible, you ensure your presence remains. Liam smiled faintly. It's our way. We may be small compared to some, fragile compared to others, but our spirit lasts. That is our legacy. Suddenly, a holographic image of a human explorer appeared. The figure spoke in a recorded message. To anyone who finds this chamber, know that Earth's legacy is built on curiosity, courage, and hope. Use this knowledge wisely, protect it, learn from it, and continue the journey we began. Zira turned to Liam, her voice soft. I see it clearly now. You humans are not just survivors. You are teachers, explorers, and inspirers. Even when absent, your legacy guides others. Liam nodded, feeling a surge of pride. That's what Earth is about. That's what humans are about. We may be small, but we leave behind what matters. Our knowledge, our courage, our dreams. The chamber began to pulse faster, signaling activation of additional systems. Liam realized that the core was preparing to transmit information. This will share knowledge across the stars. Anyone with the right tools, or the right mind, can find it and learn. Zira's eyes gleamed. And you are the one who found it, the human who continues the legacy. You honor your ancestors. Liam chuckled softly. I'm just doing what humans do. Explore, adapt, and discover. That's our strength. The energy in the chamber shifted, projecting a vast star map of the Milky Way and nearby galaxies. Lights flickered across the map, marking places humans had reached. Some were thriving colonies, others had fallen to time and neglect. Liam realized the scale of their accomplishments and the responsibility that came with knowing them. Zira hovered silently beside him. I once thought humans were weak, fragile, unworthy of respect. Now I see. Your kind is clever, resilient, and enduring. You leave your mark in ways no force can erase. Liam nodded. It's not just about leaving a mark. It's about inspiring others. Even beings unlike us can learn, adapt, and survive from our actions. That's why humans matter. The core pulsed brighter still, as if acknowledging his words. Liam felt a connection to the humans who had built this network centuries ago, the explorers, scientists, and dreamers who had risked everything for knowledge and survival. Zira, he said quietly, I want you to see something. Humans are not perfect. We fail. We make mistakes, and sometimes we lose. but we never stopped trying. That's the part of our legacy I want everyone to understand. Zira's gaze softened. I understand, Liam, and I respect it. I respect you, your determination, your curiosity, your courage. It is inspiring. They spent hours in the chamber, exploring every record, every projection, and every detail of human history preserved here. The knowledge they uncovered ranged from starship designs to planetary research, showing humans' ingenuity and resourcefulness. Each discovery deepened Zira's admiration and Liam's sense of purpose. When they finally emerged from the chamber, the forest above was bathed in the warm light of Ardinia's twin suns. The wind whispered through the crystalline trees, carrying the sense of history and legacy. Liam and Zira stood side by side, gazing at the horizon. "You have shown me much, human," Zira said. "I once mocked your kind, but now I see. Humans endure, adapt, and inspire. You leave a legacy that spans time and space. I am honored to witness it." Liam smiled faintly. "And you've helped me see this world in ways I couldn't have alone. Your curiosity, your skills, they complement humans in ways I didn't expect. Together, we can discover much more." Zira nodded, her usual playful tone returning slightly. "Perhaps we make a good team, human. I will follow your lead, and challenge you along the way, of course." Liam laughed. "I wouldn't have it any other way." As they walked through the forest, the crystalline trees glimmered around them, reflecting the bond that had formed. They had begun as challenger and teased, but now they were partners, explorers united by curiosity and respect. Liam knew that the journey ahead would be long. The planet still held secrets, and countless other worlds awaited discovery. But he also knew that humanity's legacy, preserved through knowledge, courage, and determination, would endure, not just through humans, but through anyone willing to learn from their example. Zira glanced at him, her expression soft. "Tell me, human, what is next for us?" Liam looked out across the shimmering forest, feeling the weight of history and the thrill of adventure. "Next, we uncover more of Earth's legacy. There are other ruins, other records, other knowledge scattered across the stars. We find them, we learn from them, and we ensure that humanity's spirit continues." Zira smiled, her golden eyes gleaming. "Then let us continue, human. Together we will discover what others could not. Together we will explore, adapt, and survive, just as your kind has always done." Liam nodded, feeling a sense of hope and purpose. "Exactly. Humanity's legacy isn't just in what we build or leave behind. It's in the courage to keep going, the curiosity to keep learning, and the determination to inspire others. That's what we carry into the stars." The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the forest, and the twins' moons rose once more. Liam and Zira continued their journey, stepping into the unknown with courage, curiosity, and the unshakable belief that even the smallest species could leave a lasting mark on the galaxy. Somewhere deep in the universe, dormant human knowledge waited for the next explorer to awaken it. Liam and Zira had found only a fraction, but together they would uncover it all, ensuring that Earth's legacy endured across time, space, and countless worlds. And as they moved forward side by side, Liam knew this was only the beginning. Humanity's story, full of challenges, triumphs, and enduring spirit, would continue, not just through humans, but through those inspired by their legacy. The journey of discovery, respect, and adventure stretched ahead, a reminder that even in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the spirit of Earth could inspire, endure, and thrive.